Hello and welcome to the EastPoint video newsletter. This is episode number 14 and it is coming up on the 1st of April. This is not an April Fool's episode. I'm just going to tell you what's going on in the park for those of you who are working from home and maybe missing the place. Alright, so as I mentioned in the previous video, we've been doing some landscaping and we have cut the hedges right back down very, very low. And at the time that it was done, it seemed very, very sort of raw because none of the leaves were there any longer and it was already see all of the growth coming back. So that'll be bustling with life in no time. What we want is for all of the hedges to be at that level around the place, not at they'd become a little bit too dominant and they were kind of taking over. We had the announcement from government about the easing of restrictions on the 26th of April, and so just to let you know that we will be opening up the tennis courts and the football court for people to play from that date. I've had a lot of inquiries about EV charging, which is electrical vehicles, and we've got various people asking, are we looking at it, are we going to be doing this? So just to let you know, yes, we're looking at it. We're actually currently looking at the bus stop, the old bus stop behind Blockburger, which when we reverse the traffic flow will no longer be in use, and we're actually looking at possibly putting in EV charging stations there, and possibly the existing bus stop outside of Block C. We're just looking at our options of what to do with those bus stops. We had an inquiry today about Moby, the bike sharing company. As you know, we already have bleeper bikes in the park, and it's proven very popular, certainly before lockdown. And what we're doing now is we're introducing as well Moby, and we're going to have a dedicated bike scheme with Moby, which will mean that you have electric bikes, e-bikes, that can actually take you quite a distance now with little or no effort on your behalf. So it's going to be something that we're doing as a kind of supplemental to the bus service because of social distancing and stuff like that. We continue to work on the roads, and the front entrance now is just getting some widening work done, and this will all form part of phase 2 of the work, but it's all in basically working towards getting the bicycle lanes up and running in the park. We're also working on the front entrance. If you go out to the very front up on Alfieburn Road, at the moment the bike lane has been created there, and the new footpath and crossings and stuff, all of that's done, but it still looks a little bit unfinished because we haven't completed the landscaping. So just to let you know, there will be landscaping work going in up at the front, and there will also, we've just put in new street lamps and new signs, signposts and things like that. That work is still ongoing, and it'll all be tidied up soon. So it should look quite good when you all come back from lockdown. Whilst everybody is away, we've been doing plenty of work in the park, and we try to do things that aren't really possible during when everyone is back. So we've been digging trenches, we've been putting in various services and ducts and things like that. We've been doing all of that now when everyone is on lockdown, because the idea is when you guys come back, we don't want to be disrupting footpaths and roads and all that kind of stuff. So that work is currently happening. And a lot of people are talking about ESG, or environmental, social and governance issues. And one of the things that we're currently looking with our environmental hat on is making EastPoint a pollination centre. Now, we used to have beehives in EastPoint, and we're actually bringing those back. So we're talking to a beekeeper about actually coming to EastPoint on a regular basis. And so the idea is just to make EastPoint a pollination centre in the city. And if you guys have any suggestions, we're all ears. Please leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. I have some bad news. Unfortunately, Blockburger is not going to be reopening. The restaurant has been trying to keep it going on a delivery only model for the last year, and unfortunately it has not worked for them. They haven't been able to keep it going, so they are closing. But thankfully the landlord is in talks with another operator about coming into the park at some point in the near future, so I'll report to you anything that is happening there as I hear it. And finally, good news in terms of the big whitefish, the koi that is living in the pond. We haven't seen it for a long time, and we got a little bit worried that something might have happened to it, but thankfully there was a sighting today, and a fish known as Moby Dick is he's alive and well. I won't say he's alive and kicking. And while we did not see Captain Ahab, also known as the heron, we did notice that there's a couple of ducks have decided to make the pond their home, and it's quite nice to see them getting comfortable without humans around to bother them. So it's quite nice here. We're looking forward though to getting you guys back in the near future. So with that, guys, that's pretty much it. The channel now has 298 subscribers, so we're trying to break the 300 mark. So I'm gonna implore you guys to please hit subscribe if you haven't already, and help us get over the 300 mark. And the final thing is just to wish you all a happy Easter, and hope to see you all back here very soon. Take care. But what else can I tell you? Jeez, I don't know. What do you think of the backdrop, by the way?